What if I told you that tonight, as you peacefully drift off to sleep, your body might literally stop breathing for minutes at a time? And here's the truly terrifying part. You probably have no idea it's happening. I'm talking about sleep apnea, and the statistics are absolutely mind-blowing. Recent estimates suggest nearly 1 billion people have sleep apnea worldwide. But here's what should really scare you. 26% of adults between the ages of 30 and 70 years have sleep apnea, and most of them don't even know it. Think about that for a second. If you're watching this video, there's a 1 in 4 chance you have a condition that's silently damaging your brain and heart every single night. The most dangerous thing about sleep apnea isn't the condition itself. It's that it's a silent killer that can go undetected for years. While wreaking havoc on your body, why is sleep apnea so dangerous? During sleep, your airway repeatedly collapses, cutting off oxygen to your brain and vital organs. Your body jolts awake just enough to restart breathing, but you never remember it happening. This cycle can repeat hundreds of times per night, and each time it happens, it's like giving yourself a mini heart attack. Today, I'm going to share 5 shocking signs that you might have sleep apnea. And trust me, some of these will surprise you. We'll also dive into what you can do about it, which doctors to see, and even specific foods that can help. But first, let's talk about why this condition is literally life-threatening. Sleep apnea isn't just about feeling tired the next day. This condition has significant implications for cardiovascular health, mental well-being, quality of life, and driving safety. Every time your breathing stops, your oxygen levels plummet and your blood pressure spikes. Over time, this leads to serious health complications, including stroke, heart disease, diabetes, and even dementia. The scary part? Most people dismiss the early signs as just getting older or being stressed. But while you're ignoring these warning signals, sleep apnea is quietly accelerating aging in your brain and putting you at risk for sudden cardiac events. Now, let me walk you through the 5 signs that should make you seriously consider getting tested for sleep apnea. The most obvious sign is actually one you can't detect yourself. If your partner has ever told you that you stop breathing during sleep, or that your snoring is interrupted by periods of scary silence, followed by gasping or choking sounds, this is a massive red flag. But here's what most people don't realize. Not everyone with sleep apnea snores loudly. Some people have what we call silent sleep apnea, where the breathing stops happen without the dramatic snoring. This is why having a sleep partner who can observe your breathing patterns is so valuable. When your airway collapses during sleep, your brain eventually realizes oxygen levels are dropping and sends an emergency signal to wake you up just enough to restart breathings. This might sound like a gasp, snort, or choking sound. Your partner might describe it as terrifying to watch, because it literally looks like you've stopped breathing. If you sleep alone, consider recording yourself sleeping, or ask a family member to check on you. Modern smartphones can even detect irregular breathing patterns through sleep apps. Though these shouldn't replace professional diagnosis, this is the sign that frustrates people the most because it seems so unfair. You go to bed at a reasonable time, sleep for 8 hours, but wake up feeling absolutely exhausted with a pounding headache. Here's what's happening. Every time your breathing stops, your brain has to partially wake up to restart the breathing process. You're not consciously aware of these micro-awakenings, but they're preventing you from reaching the deep, restorative stages of sleep that your body desperately needs. Think of it like this. Imagine someone waking you up every few minutes throughout the night, just long enough to take a breath, then letting you fall back asleep. That's essentially what sleep apnea does to your sleep cycle. Your sleep efficiency plummets because you're constantly being pulled out of deep sleep. The morning headaches are particularly telling because they're caused by the buildup of carbon dioxide and lack of oxygen during the night. If you consistently wake up with headaches that improve as the morning progresses, sleep apnea could be the culprit. This goes way beyond just feeling a little tired after lunch. I'm talking about the overwhelming, irresistible urge to sleep that hits you during conversations, while watching TV, or worst of all, while driving. Sleep apnea patients often describe it as their eyelids feeling impossibly heavy, like they're being forced shut by some external force. You might find yourself nodding off during meetings, struggling to stay awake during movies. You're actually interested in or feeling dangerously drowsy behind the wheel. The driving aspect is particularly scary because people with untreated sleep apnea have a significantly higher risk of car accidents Your reaction times are slower, your judgment is impaired, and microsleep episodes can happen without warning. If you've ever arrived somewhere and couldn't remember parts of the drive, or if you've caught yourself drifting between lanes, this could be a sign of severe sleep deprivation caused by sleep apnea. This excessive daytime sleepiness happens because your brain never gets the restorative sleep it needs to function properly. It's constantly operating in a fog, desperately trying to catch up on the deep sleep that sleep apnea keeps interrupting. Here's a sign that many people and even some doctors miss: unexplained high blood pressure, especially if it's resistant to medication or seems to have appeared suddenly. There's a very strong connection between sleep apnea and hypertension. Every time your breathing stops during the night, your body releases stress, hormones, and your blood pressure spikes as your heart works overtime to pump blood to your oxygen-starved organs. Over time, this leads to sustained high blood pressure even during the day. What's particularly insidious is that this creates a vicious cycle. High blood pressure damages your cardiovascular system, which makes you more vulnerable to the cardiac stress that sleep apnea creates every night. Meanwhile, the poor sleep quality makes it harder for your body to regulate blood pressure naturally. If your doctor has recently put you on blood pressure medication, or if your existing medication isn't working as well as it used to, ask them about sleep apnea. Many people see dramatic improvements in their blood pressure once their sleep apnea is properly treated. This is the sign that surprises people the most, because it seems completely unrelated to breathing problems during sleep. But there's actually a strong connection between sleep apnea and both frequent nighttime urination and sexual dysfunction. Let's start with the bathroom issues. If you're waking up multiple times per night to urinate, and this is a relatively new development, sleep apnea could be the cause. When your oxygen levels drop repeatedly during the night, it affects hormone production, including a hormone called ANP that regulates fluid balance. This can lead to increased urine production during sleep. As for sexual dysfunction, sleep apnea wreaks havoc on hormone production, particularly testosterone in men. The constant sleep disruption and oxygen deprivation interfere with the normal hormone cycles that happen during deep sleep. Lower testosterone levels lead to decreased libido and erectile dysfunction. For women, sleep apnea can affect estrogen and progesterone levels, leading to decreased sexual desire and other reproductive health issues. The chronic fatigue and mood changes associated with poor sleep also significantly impact intimate relationships. These problems often improve dramatically once sleep apnea is properly treated, but many people suffer for years without making the connection. If any of these signs sound familiar, the good news is that sleep apnea is highly treatable. The first step is getting properly diagnosed, which means seeing the right specialist. You'll want to start with either a sleep medicine specialist, a pulmonologist, or an ENT doctor. Many hospitals now have dedicated sleep centers that can provide comprehensive evaluation and testing. The gold standard for diagnosis is an overnight sleep study. Though home sleep tests are becoming more common and convenient for many patients, the most effective treatment is CPAP therapy. That's continuous positive airway pressure. Continued use of a CPAP device can decrease mortality from all causes by 27%. I know the idea of sleeping with a mask sounds uncomfortable, but modern CPAP machines are much quieter and more comfortable than older models. For mild to moderate cases, oral appliances fitted by a specially trained dentist can be very effective. These devices work by repositioning your jaw and tongue to keep your airway open during sleep. In severe cases, surgical options include removing excess tissue from the throat, repositioning the jaw, or even implanting a device that stimulates the nerve. Controlling your tongue muscles. The latest innovation is called Inspire therapy, which is essentially a pacemaker for your airway. Don't let another night go by wondering if you're slowly suffocating in your sleep. Your future self will thank you for taking action today. Sweet dreams, everyone.